must wait. I must wait. I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet. I must wait. Thanks. I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet. I must wait. I must wait. I'm not ready yet. I can't lift more. bags are full.
So I present you the best possible Sorc build in the game, not just for this season, for any season to come. There's no way ever in the history of this game, well, you know, maybe when they rework the Sorc, you know, I heard that they are reworking the Sorc and actually renaming her to Spiritborn in the Vessel of Hatred, so maybe that would be OP, but otherwise this would be the best possible build for the Sorc in any season, really, until this game exists. That's for sure, or at least until this dev team, the balancing team, the class balancing team, right? That's what it was called, right? So until this team is working on the game, this would be the best build ever. Or maybe more OP gear will come, but generally this will be a crazy build for the Sorc, because as you can see, we are playing Sorc. Obviously, duh. So let's first go through the skill trees. So as a Sorc player, you want to take Flay, because that's, you know, it's the season of the basic attacks, so obviously we are going with a basic attack build because it's freaking OP. So Flay for the shit ton of bleeding damage. Then we take Enhanced Flay and Battle Flay. We go down, we take Endless Fury, and that's for the so that basic skills generate more, 30% more Fury. Later we'll see why. And because this is a basic skill build, so it's no-brainer to take this, right? Then we go and take Imposing Presence for another shit ton of max wife. As you can see, I'm running on almost 60k max wife without any potions. And then we go and pick Martial Vigor. Okay? Then we pick Iron Skin, Enhanced Iron Skin, and Tactical Iron Skin. Also, we are taking Challenging Shout for the insane damage reduction, obviously. And then Enhanced Challenging Shout, everything is enhanced, you know, Enhanced Iron Skin, Enhanced Challenging Shout, everything in this build is freaking enhanced to the moon. And finally, we are taking tactical challenging. You know, because some tactics you is required. You can't just go and smash blindly, right? There has to be a skill. It's a sword, you know. Then we take Warcry. Again, enhanced Warcry, because it's freaking enhanced. Everything in this build, I'm telling you guys, everything in this build is enhanced. Well, maybe not to the moon, but to the Pluto. I don't know. Maybe to the closest galaxy. Then we take Mighty Warcry. Then Booming Voice, one point in Booming Voice, 2 points in this, whatever it's called. Then we pick more damage. So we are taking the Hamstring, 3 points, then 3 points of Cut to the Bone, 1 point in Steel Grasp, 1 point in what? Enhanced Steel Grasp, duh. Then Fighter Steel Grasp, 3 points in Thick Skin, 3 points in Defensive Stance, 3 points in Counter-Offensive. Then we go down and we take the Wrath of the Berserker and Prime Wrath of the Berserker. I don't know why it's not enhanced. I mean, they should rename it, you know. And finally, the ultimate skill, or whatever you want to call it, it's called key passive, but that's not a that's not a passive. It's not a passive at all. I mean, just look at this. It's crazy. This is insanity. Insanity collected in just one so-called passive, you know. But what does this passive do? Where you overpower an enemy, it creates an explosion that inflicts, in this case, 150,000 bleeding damage over 5 seconds. But the most OP thing of this passive is that it enhances your bleed damage based on your crit strike damage, and the chance to trigger this is based on your crit strike chance. So you stack crit strike chance and crit damage, and you just go to the moon. No, I mean to the next galaxy, really. That's what it is. So, as you can see here, I don't even have all my resistances at max, right? Because you don't have to. I mean, it's just that ridiculous. Then, for the crit chance, let me see what I'm almost at 80% crit chance. And almost 900% crit damage. Because we need to stack also some vulnerable damage and roll damage, you know? Because roll damage is double dipping on damage over time. Vulnerable damage is enhancing significantly your bleeding damage, which is damage over time. And then this also, you know, scales it to further to the moon, to the next galaxy. I don't know why I'm restricting myself to the moon. It's just beyond, way beyond that. So, for the gear, we are using, whatever two-hander you want to use here on the mace. So, here we put Berserking Creeping. Why do we do this? Why do this? Well, because it says that while you are berserking, inflict 60% of the base damage dealt as additional bleeding damage over 5 seconds. And by the way, this scales from your gushing wounds. So this can be, you know, I mean, the other characters you can really just one tap with this. You just one tap them, guys. Maybe I can show you now. Maybe I can show you. Okay, we can just go and I'll freaking show you this.
more time.
Here we go, guys. Where is this? Okay. Then we take it, hop, hop, and just look now. Just look what happens now. The tick goes, and it goes and goes and goes, and then hop, hop.
I must wait.
Just look now. See, this is what I'm talking about. It's just insanity, guys. It's madness. It's madness. It's just pure fucking madness, I'm telling you. This build is crazy. Anyway, let's continue. So this is why we are taking Berserking Creeping, right? To be able to do this shit. Then, here we are putting this thing, the Moonrise, on one-handed weapon. Why? Because this doesn't scale your damage over time, which means the bleeding damage in this case. And the thing is that you don't really care about you don't care about the base damage. Okay, you see the base damage here is between 8 and 10k, let's say, right? You don't care about this. I mean, okay, say that you scale it 80%, or maybe if you put it on two handers, it will be, what, 160%. Or do you care about that you can scale this at, what would be, let's say 25k. 25k. On each hit you do 25k. That's nothing. That's nothing. What you care about is the damage over time. That's 150k, you know, not procced by the gushing wound, you know? Like, scale this mother chucking damage. You scale by this 60%, then 140% by the gushing wound, then double dipping from the damage, the raw damage affix, then further scaled by the vulnerable damage. That's a shit ton of damage. That's what you care about. So you don't care about this. The Moonrise doesn't scale your damage over time. It scales just your basic damage, meaning that you have to hit them every time, and every hit would be just 25. You don't care about such dust shits, you know. So on the other one-hander, you have options. So there are two options here. You can choose this one, the Devilish Lich, which would help, you know, create dust devils. It's nice. Or you can go with a Curse Touch, because you want the enemies to be vulnerable, and you always use a two-handed slashing weapon with the Flay, because when you use the enhanced Flay, I think it was, let me see, because everything has to be enhanced, yes, of course, has 30% chance to make enemies vulnerable for 5 seconds if you use two-handed slashing weapons. Or, well, let me see, where was it? No? It's just two-handed weapon? Okay, I'm mistaken. But anyway, it's two-handed weapon, right? So you have to use two-handed weapon. So yeah, you can either use this or you can use this, but I prefer the sword, right? Because it's, well, it's fancier. So on the two-handed weapon, the other two-handed weapon, well, obviously because the sword has 4 weapons, you temper rapid, so for the basic skill attack speed. And the gems that we use are all damage over time, so amethyst on the weapons. Then for the jewelry, you want rings with crit chance as a greater affix, and crit chance as a greater affix on your amulet. Then you want movement speed. If the optimal is to get movement speed and crit chance as a greater affix, and temper or temper movement speed here, right? Just get normal movement speed with high roll though, and temper movement speed. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to temper movement speed. And then on the rings also you want steel grasp cooldown reduction, because what we do with the steel grasp is we hook them, we pull them, and what was it? The fighter steel grasp. What it does is that when you damage an enemy with the steel grasp, you gain berserking for 2 seconds, and that's important because only when you're berserking you can inflict 60% of the base damage as damage over time. And your damage over time scales. This scales with the gushing wound. So you want steel grasp cooldown reduction and damage. Here I didn't want to gamble for more, so damage to close was fine, because otherwise you can get damage to crowd control or damage to distant, which is shit. Like, when are you going to use this? It doesn't work in this build. So if you don't want to gamble, just take damage to close. But if you have 5 or 4 or 3 tempers, I would gamble. I in this case have 2, and I wouldn't gamble. So no more casinos this season for me. On the boots you want movement speed as greater affix, then stun duration and temper movement speed as well. And why you want stun duration? Well, because somewhere on the gear, doesn't matter, the helmet, the chest, it doesn't really matter, you should temper steel grasp stuns for particular amount of time. The range is 1.6 to 2.2 seconds. So when you pull the enemies, they would be stunned, and this stun would be further increased based on the stun duration tempering that you're doing. So everywhere else you want stun duration. Here I got thorns because I was testing another build before that, but yeah, anyway. Then here I couldn't temper stun duration, I tempered concussion, which doesn't make sense in this build, but whatever, it is what it is. And the most crucial thing for this build is martial vigor. You want to temper martial vigor in every possible piece that can be tempered with martial vigor, right? So you want to temper martial vigor on the helmet, on the chest, on the pants. I don't know if it can be tempered on the gloves, but if it can be, you should. And then you temper it on the amulet. And you go to the blacksmith and you prepare a shit ton of the obducite, and you start masterworking this. And if you don't hit from the first time, if you don't crit the martial vigor, you reset and repeat masterworking until you crit it at least one time. Then you can continue, and I personally wouldn't bother at this point anymore because it becomes insanity. I can tell you that this is insane to crit it 2 times. It's absolute madness to crit it even once. No way I'm gonna bother to crit it 2 times. Just that's in some other alternative universe, really, that's gonna happen. Not in this one for sure. But obducite is really to farm really easy, especially if you are farming this material, the last material. Then you convert it to this, and then the ingolith you convert to obducite. You can get a shit ton of obducite, and then you just masterwork and reset, and gamble more and more until you get crit at least once. I got twice. It was from the first and the third time, and here it was from the first time. The second time I didn't crit, obviously I crit concussion, and I didn't bother to even upgrade it to the third time because I'm so pissed of the pit, really. But do you need it, really? No, I just, if I was serious, I would have killed both barbs here. It's just madness. Anyway, that's the gear. So for the helmet, you want to temper Undying, Then on the what the fuck am I even playing with? Oh my god. Okay, you don't want to use this. I've just noticed now that yeah, I haven't even put the proper aspect here, and I've been playing like this whole game. Anyway, here you can put might, okay? Then we take inner calm for more damage, and this further scales your damage from the gushing wounds again to some moon in Andromeda Galaxy, you know. Then we take this each point of fury generated while at maximum fury grants more fortify, right? So I don't even have the max row of this aspect, but it still works. So on the boots, you want this. I think it's the aspect of anemia or whatever it is, but it's basically damaging, bleeding, or vulnerable enemies has up to 30% chance to stun them for 2 seconds. And on one of the rings, so because we have this, right, we Steel Grasp stuns them. You have a chance when they will be bleeding and vulnerable most of the time, so you will all the time will have 30% chance to stun them. You have increased stun duration. Steel Grasps can stun them. Obviously, we have to take Retribution, right? Because it's no brainer. I mean, you deal 30% increased damage to stun or knock down enemies. For the amulet, we are using adaptability just for because it's the season of the basic attacks. And on the other ring, we are using the Edge Master. And I think that sums it up. For the paragons, yes, the glyphs that I'm using is Might. Then we go and take the Warbringer board and we place a Blood Feeder. Then we take the Bonebreaker board and we put Exploit. We go down, take Weapon Master board, and there we put Disembowel. Then we go and take Hemorrhage, and there we put Seating. And that's why we are using Sword actually, because you know every 5 strength purchase within range you deal increased damage while wielding a sword, and we have to use two-handed weapon. So remember this: we have to use two-handed weapon for the Flay to have 30% instead of 15% chance to make enemies vulnerable. And because of the seating, I think it was right. Yes, we are using the two-handed sword. Maybe you can change it with another two-handed. If you want to use the mace, you can change this with mace, whatever. So then we go and take Carnage, and there we put the Rat Glyph, and then we go and take the Bonebreaker legendary note, so that every 12 seconds you can overpower, and when you do this you just go to Andromeda, right? So that's really the case. Maybe I can just go and fucking demolish whoever is there.
I need time to do that.
Because it's the season of the sword, guys. Wait. Oh. Okay. Ta-da-da-da-da, ta-da-da-da. Okay, this guy is dead, guys. It's dead. There we go. And the other one actually escaped. Damn it! Damn it, it took too much time to kill this mother checker. But yeah, guys, this is the best Sork season, right? So,
Not ready yet.
anyway, that's all from me. And this time, I promise this is the last video. I just came back to Diablo, and I had, you know, this took like maybe 3 or 4 days to build, because it's an out. I already had shit ton of things, the gear, almost everything, you know, and this guy was level 72 when I started, and I just leveled it to 100 in several hours, and that was it. It was really fast, and the other games that I played, I just finished the content, because there I'm quite in the end game, and there's no really content. When they release new things, I just go and finish them for 1 day. Then there is no content. For example, I'm talking about specifically about Warframe now, but in last epoch I managed to farm half of the Harbingers, and yeah, maybe I can just kill this guy. Okay, guy, you are dead. And yeah, but basically I just was bored, and came back to do the best sword built in the entire game. That would be, you know, it will wreck for eternity. I promise you that. So Sork, I don't know why people complain. I mean, just look, Sork, like it demolishes everything. Really, Duriel, it can do it. Zir, it can do it. It can do everything. This build has it all, guys. Honestly. Last thing before I leave. The only barbs that can absolutely demolish you and wreck you are the Whirlwind Dust Devil barbs. If you see Whirlwind barbs, especially the ones with the new uber unique armor, I forgot the name, you don't find them. You just don't find them, right? Unless they used their ultimate, which would be Wrath of the Berserker. That's like 99% of the time would be Wrath of the Berserker, unless they use this already and you still have your up. Then what you do is, if you know that they used it already, you're still alive, you have your up, then you still grasp them and stun them, only then you can fight them. Even if they used the Wrath of the Berserker, if you don't manage to grasp them, you don't fight them. Right? These are the only barbs in the game that can demolish you no matter what. Otherwise, this is the best sword build. That's it. See you next season. I am out.